On a night defined by relentless offense, dazzling shooting displays, and the unmistakable rhythm of a team firing on all cylinders, the Miami Heat delivered one of their most explosive performances of the season, overwhelming the Washington Wizards 150-129 in a high-scoring spectacle that electrified fans and reinforced Miami's reputation as one of the league's most dangerous offensive units when momentum is on their side. From the opening tip-off to the final buzzer, the game unfolded like an offensive showcase, with the Heat pushing the pace, spreading the floor, and relentlessly attacking the Wizards' defense in waves that proved nearly impossible to contain. The crowd inside Miami's arena sensed early that something special was brewing as the Heat began the game with crisp ball movement and aggressive shot-making, quickly establishing a rhythm that would carry them throughout the evening. While Washington attempted to match the tempo and produced moments of impressive scoring of its own, Miami's balance, depth, and execution ultimately proved overwhelming. The first quarter immediately set the tone for the night. Miami opened with a fast-paced attack that caught Washington slightly off guard, launching quick transition opportunities and capitalizing on defensive breakdowns. Early three-point shots fell with confidence, and the Heat demonstrated a willingness to push the ball after every rebound, forcing the Wizards to scramble defensively. Within the opening minutes, Miami had already ignited the scoreboard with a flurry of points that energized the home crowd. Washington responded with determined scoring runs of their own, relying on quick drives to the basket and perimeter shooting to keep the contest competitive. Yet the Wizards' defensive rotations struggled to keep pace with Miami's constant motion offense. Every time Washington attempted to close the gap, the Heat found another scoring option, another open shooter, or another fast break opportunity that restored their momentum. By the end of the first quarter, the scoreboard reflected the offensive intensity that would define the game. Both teams had already combined for a large point total, but Miami held the edge thanks to their efficient shooting and ability to convert opportunities in transition. The Heat's offensive philosophy, built around spacing, movement, and quick decision-making, was on full display. Washington, meanwhile, remained aggressive offensively but could not slow the relentless pace that Miami was setting. The Wizards' attempts to tighten their defense were complicated by Miami's constant movement off the ball, which created open looks across the floor. As the second quarter unfolded, the game continued to evolve into a scoring festival. Miami's bench unit stepped onto the floor with the same confidence and intensity displayed by the starters. Rather than slowing down, the Heat accelerated the tempo even further. Crisp passes sliced through Washington's defense, leading to open three-pointers and driving lanes that allowed Miami to build its lead. The Wizards fought back with resilience, producing impressive scoring sequences that briefly narrowed the gap. Their offensive approach emphasized quick ball movement and aggressive drives toward the rim, hoping to exploit any defensive lapses. However, each Wizards run was met with an immediate response from Miami, which maintained control of the game through efficient shooting and disciplined ball movement. Midway through the second quarter, Miami's offense reached a particularly explosive stretch. Consecutive three-pointers ignited the arena, followed by fast break finishes that sent the crowd into a frenzy. The Heat's confidence became palpable as players celebrated each big play with visible energy. Washington, despite trailing, continued to show determination and produced several highlight moments of its own. The Wizards' shooters connected from beyond the arc, and their guards found success attacking the paint. Yet the challenge they faced was not simply scoring. It was keeping pace with a Miami offense that seemed unstoppable. By halftime, the scoreboard already told the story of a remarkable offensive battle. The combined points from both teams had soared well beyond typical first-half totals, with Miami holding a commanding advantage. Analysts and fans alike began discussing the possibility of one of the highest-scoring games of the season. The Heat's shooting percentages were extraordinary, reflecting both the quality of their shot selection and the confidence that had spread throughout the roster. Washington, while productive offensively, faced the daunting task of closing a significant gap against a team that appeared to have found its offensive rhythm. The third quarter often determines whether a trailing team can mount a comeback, and the Wizards entered the second half determined to shift the momentum. They began the quarter with renewed defensive focus and attempted to slow the pace of the game. For a brief stretch, their strategy showed promise as they forced a couple of turnovers and converted them into points. The Wizards trimmed the deficit slightly, raising hopes among their supporters that a comeback might be possible. Yet Miami's response was swift and decisive. The Heat regained control through disciplined offensive execution, spreading the floor and patiently working the ball until the right opportunity appeared. During the third quarter, Miami's offensive versatility became especially evident. Rather than relying solely on perimeter shooting, the Heat diversified their attack with drives to the basket, mid-range jumpers, and smart interior passing. Each possession seemed to highlight a different aspect of the team's offensive system. Washington's defenders rotated frantically, attempting to close out shooters and protect the paint simultaneously. The result was a constant struggle to keep Miami from scoring. Even when the Wizards executed strong defensive sequences, the Heat frequently found a way to convert difficult shots or secure offensive rebounds that extended possessions. As the quarter progressed, Miami gradually widened the gap again. Their ability to maintain offensive efficiency while playing at a rapid pace proved to be the decisive factor. Washington continued to score, but the Wizards simply could not produce the defensive stops required to change the trajectory of the game. The Heat's players displayed remarkable chemistry, with passes arriving at precisely the right moment and shooters ready to capitalize. The crowd responded with enthusiasm, sensing that they were witnessing one of the team's most entertaining performances of the season. Entering the fourth quarter, the game had already become a showcase of offensive fireworks. The Heat maintained a comfortable lead, but the scoring barrage showed no signs of slowing down. Washington, to its credit, continued to compete aggressively, refusing to concede despite the uphill battle. The Wizards players attacked the basket with determination and knocked down several impressive shots, ensuring that the contest remained lively until the final minutes. Yet Miami's offensive momentum remained unstoppable. Every time Washington threatened to close the gap, the Heat answered with another scoring burst. The final quarter highlighted Miami's depth and confidence.